All right, we are moving, we're live in Abuja for the Atiku Abubakar book launch. This is his book presentation for the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party at the Abuja International Conference Center, where the candidate is presenting 3 books actually on his leadership style, contribution to democratic and constitutional style in Nigeria. Let's take a listen.
Our able leader. Let me honor Honorable Salisu Yusuf Majigiri, the Katsina State chair of our great party, the PDP. Let me honor Senator George Sakibo, CON, our great leader, chairman, Senate Committee on Navy, and leader of the South-South Parliamentary Caucus in the Senate. So we honor you greatly. Please, again, as our esteemed leaders come, as they sit, cameramen, please return to your rightful places. Our civilian security, could you please kindly help us in organizing the protocol, help us in organizing what is going on here. Again, let me honor the Lana Silk Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, SAN, former Minister, Special Duties. I'd like to honor the gracious presence of distinguished Senator Dino Melai, the spokesman of our great campaign, who just made his entrance. I'd like to honor our leader, distinguished Senator Gasham Bassi. Sir, we welcome you. We thank you indeed so very much. Let me honor Right Honorable Dr. Right Honorable Boye Layefa Debe Keme. Sir, we welcome you. Thank you indeed so very much. Let me honor Honorable Kunle Yusuf, MON. Sir, we welcome you. Let me honor Honorable Alaji Baba Nafada, Majority Leader, Gombe State House of Assembly. His Excellency, Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Helen Mack, the wife Anika. Don't shout.
We wish to specially announce the arrival of Her Excellency, the wife of our standard bearer, Hajia Titilayo Atiku Abubakar. And when you see the arrival of Her Excellency, you will expect that in a couple of minutes we should be welcoming her beloved husband, our standard bearer, Alhaji Atiku, the Wazirin Adamawa Abubakar. May I recognize I would like to also recognize His Excellency, the former governor of River State, Chief Celestine Omea, the Right Honorable Austin Opara, the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. Still within the former membership of the National Assembly, I would like to recognize my brother, the former leader of the House of Representatives, Honorable Muhammad Wakil. It is pronounced Muhammad Wakil. May I give special recognition to the former Governor of Kwara State, His Excellency Dr. Abdul Fattah Ahmad. Special recognition to Her Excellency, the wife of the Deputy Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdul Qadir Mohammed, Her Excellency Hajia Aishatu Lami Bala Abdul Qadir Mohammed, the First Lady of Bauchi State. Senator Lee Maiba, who is a very strong member of this committee, we don't want to assume that you are a member of the committee, and so we procrastinate on giving you your proper recognition. You're welcome. And so, special recognition to two former governors in the family of the PDP. Neighbors by geography, neighbors by association, and neighbors in politics. The former governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Dr. Sule Lamido, CON, and the former governor of Kano State, His Excellency Ambassador Ibrahim Shekarau. May I also give special recognition to Ambassador Ibrahim Kazaure. This is to recognize Major General Nuhu Angbazo, retired, a former governorship aspirant of the PDP in Nasarawa State, my very good friend. Also recognizing His Excellency, the former governor of Nasarawa, Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, His Excellency Mike John Abdul.
Let me ask once again that please, cameraman, if you can decongest the frontage so we don't have to force that on you. Just do it as it is supposed to be done. I'd like to honor the gracious presence of His Excellency, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Namadi Sambo. Your Excellency, we honor you, we welcome you. Alhaji Mohammed Sani Sidi, the former DG Nama. Alhaji Abdullahi Mustafa, former National Organizing Secretary of our great party. Ambassador Usman. His Excellency Engineer Tele Ikuru, former Deputy Governor of Rivers State. Let me honor Senator Bello Jibir Gada, CON, Sarki Yakin Gobir, former Minister of Culture and Tourism. Once again, Her Excellency Chief Mrs. Helen David Mark, wife of the former Senate President and our great leader, Senator David Mark.
Also announcing the arrival of His Excellency Senator Duyo Diri, the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State. And I also notice in the crowd my friend, Honorable Adamu Maula Aliyu, a former senatorial aspirant and the chairman or the coordinator of Ward toward Northeast of Atiku campaign organization. Also, special recognition to E.D. Hong, a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Let me honor the gracious presence of Right Honorable Awal D. Tukur, a great leader, former member, House of Representatives. Thank you, Alhaji Yusuf Suleiman, member of the Presidential Campaign Council, former Minister, Transport. Ambassador Idris Waziri, CON, former Minister, Commerce. Let me honor distinguished Senator Roland Owi. I'd like to honor the gracious presence of the former Minister of Information, former gubernatorial candidate in Nasarawa State, His Excellency Labaran Maku, CON.
A canja canjin tsiya. Mu sake tsari. Bare da Jafara Koriya. A busa tashi. Aitam yayi karsi tsiya. Wai na dalili. Kasar mu a ce muna shan wuya. Mu ba su kati. Kwara mu kori 'yan tsintsiya. Muna da fatan mu PDP mu kauce tsiya. Daga mu da ɗauka jira ku ga za a zo zahiri. Atiku zaɓin mu ne.
All right. Let me honor once again distinguished Senator Roland Owi. I'd like to honor the gracious presence of Chief Mrs. Jumoke Akinjide, the Thank you very much. Please, let's get seated. Let's get organized. We promise you, we'll be announcing all of our leaders, as many as get to us, before His Excellency gets here and the event commences formally. But for now, we'll continue to announce them. Let me honor Ambassador Dr. Hassan Adamu, CON, Wakiling Adamawa, the Chancellor, Enugu State University, Science and Technology. I would like to honor all of the Atiku support groups that are in the house. All Atiku support groups that are in the house. All Atiku support groups that are in the house: Atiku Grassroots Mobilization Alliance, People's Mandate, Amalgamated Atiku, Atiku Support Organization, ASO, Atiku Global Movement, Atiku Canvassers Movement, Kasgi, Atiku Youth Wing, Vote Right Ambassadors Group. All of you, we honor and recognize you. Let me also honor Honorable Alhaji Adamu Malua Aliu, the former senatorial aspirant. former Deputy Governor of Zamfara, His Excellency Mahdi Mohammed Aliyu, we honor and welcome you. Ambassador Bagudu Hirse, former Minister of State Foreign Affairs. Please, 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 I don't know why you're here.
Please, may I draw the attention of all concerned. Please do not inundate the announcers' days with your preferred list of announcements. We have our own protocol list, and we'll ensure that we give due recognition to those who are by protocol listed and therefore deserving of our recognition. I will not, and I repeat, we will not take papers from anyone. We will not take cards. We will not patronize anybody coming to give us cards or names. We have protocol officers that we have designated to go around and pick those names. And they will bring those names to us. You will do yourself, and you will do us a great deal of favor. Please do not bring any paper to us. When you look around this hall, there are hundreds that are deserving of special recognition. And indeed, we appreciate and recognize each and every one of you present here. But please do not, because it does appear that we are having issues trying to get organized. We're not here for recognition. We are here for something that is of a higher grade called a program. And we need to execute that program to its deepest conclusion, and albeit successfully. May I please once again request those of you in the middle of this park, on the red carpet especially, to please exit the red carpet, get a seat, and let us be organized. Special recognition to my friend and elder, Earl Osaro Onaivu, who is also a chieftain of the PDP. And whenever an event like this is organized, when you say red carpet, the name of Earl Osaro Onaivu comes to mind. Special recognition to His Excellency, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. You're welcome, and please help me welcome His Excellency Umar Gali Naabba, the former Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives.
Thank you very much once again, Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished Senators of the Federal Republic, honorable members of the Federal House of Representatives, and members of the various state houses of assembly, honorable commissioners present, our party leaders, national, state, local governments, and down to all other levels, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you again into the International Conference Center.
All right, once again, we're live in Abuja, the International Conference Center, where the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is presenting 3 books on his leadership style, contribution to democratic and constitutional style in Nigeria. Let's resume the festivities.
Nobody getting moral like PDP. Morale. Nobody getting moral like Atiku. Let me hear you say. Morale. Nobody getting moral like PDP. taking over in Jesus' name. Thank you. I remember we are picking.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May I respectfully, one more time, request that all our invited guests and all the sea of cameramen and my colleagues in the media that are accompanying our standard bearer, His Excellency Waziring Adamawa Atiku Abubakar, for vantage and vintage shots to kindly clear the front of the dais. And those of you who are in the middle of the park, please take your seats on the gallery, because we cannot have people standing while others are seated to your left and to your right. It does not look like we're going to have an organized house. It is important that all cameramen, everybody, should clear the frontage of these days, unless you are a live action camera person, which means you're going live on any of the national networks, whether you are on NTA or channels or AIT or Arise or TVC, and on live camera, then you are strategically located. The rest of the camera crew should stay to the left or to the right of these days. This event is a special program, and you shouldn't be seen to be interfering in the line of sight of our dignitaries, and indeed in the line of sight of cameras that are strategically located to cover this event. May we please, all of you who have cameras, everyone that is standing in front, out. Everybody that is in front of these days should please clear out. I will ask our respective security agencies to do the needful. If we can't have it done the proper way, then we might have to enforce the protocols. Please, once again, we insist that everybody should clear from the front of our dignitaries. Look, from the announcers' days, we can't even see you. I can only see Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, leader, in this occasion. May I recognize a foot soldier in his, a distinguished senator in his own right, a public affairs analyst in his own right, Senator Dino Melaye, the spokesperson of the Atiku Okowa campaign organization. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please be seated. Those of you standing in front of our standard bearer and in front of the VIP seats, I would request you to kindly clear so that we can have a proper eye-to-eye contact with them. Okay, I have been directed to inform you by the protocol and the organizers of this event. All cameramen that are in front, to the left and to the right, you should clear to the extreme left and you should clear to the extreme right. You use your zoom lenses to ensure that you capture the event. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem. The second stanza of the national anthem should be our adopted prayers. May we sing together the second stanza of the national anthem of the Federal Republic as our adopted prayers.
O God of compassion,
Creation,
after the count of two.
guide our leaders right. Help us use the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow. I'm not happy at all. I want to plead with our colleagues on the left side of this aisle. As the second stanza of the national anthem was being taken as prayer, you gentlemen, you, our colleagues, are busy talking. Hello? Hello? Please excuse me. You cannot be a problem to this occasion. Your Excellency, the standard bearer of the PDP, our own candidate, Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri of Adamawa, the presidential candidate, the standard bearer of our great party, the PDP, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by the grace of God, a president come May 2023, the chairman of our great party, distinguished Senator Iochia Ayu, the deputy standard bearer, His Excellency Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, the executive governor of Delta State, Your Excellency, Her Excellency, the wife of our standard bearer, Hajia Titi Abubakar, Your Excellencies, the executive governors of the PDP in our most cherished PDP states, the deputy national chairman, and all members of the National Working Committee of the PDP, His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo, members of the National Assembly here present, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors, Your Excellencies, the standard bearers of our party in the 36 states, honorable ministers, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that we are not only organized, we're not only ready to go, but we are good to go. This hall is very well logistically organized. We are happy, we are excited, we are charged, we are turbocharged. We are more than happy, we are exhilarated. We can't wait for this event to commence. And we are live on national networks of the NTA, the AIT, Channels Television, TVC, and Arise Television. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here for a very special event, which is the presentation of 3 books credited to the life and times of our standard bearer, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, from cradle, from grass to grace, his struggles with democracy, and he's been the champion of the rule of law. These books were carefully put together to enunciate, to pontificate, and to tell Nigerians in black and white the sterling contributions of His Excellency Wazirin Adamawa Atiku Abubakar to the development of democracy in Nigeria. And I want, by way of retrospective recollection, remind this audience and remind all Nigerians that are watching on live television that the life and times of Atiku Abubakar cannot be completely captured in just 3 books. His life is an encyclopedic analysis of a man who has contributed immensely to the growth and development of democracy in Nigeria. For the record, and I want all of you to please note that in terms of political contest, Atiku Abubakar has set the pace. In the former Gongola state, he contested for the governorship of the state, and then he was not particularly lucky. Just as about the time he was contesting for the second contest, Gongola state was divided into 2, and he came and contested eventually under the office of the PDP and won the election. But as God will have it, he was called upon to do a higher service to the country when he was chosen unanimously to be Nigeria's vice president under Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. We will continue to give you snippets of the life and times of this great politician, businessman, statesman, and not only a power broker, but someone who has touched the lives of millions in both public and private sector. I'd like once again for all of you present to put your hands together and welcome with a loud applause His Excellency Atiku Abubakar Wazirin Adamawa, and by the special grace of God, our president in 2023.
Look your front, make you see better where they come. Nigeria na corrupt.
PDP. PDP is a happy political party because it's the best sector in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I need you to arouse yourself wherever you're seated. PDP! Power to the people! Power to the women! Power to the youths! Power to persons with disabilities! Thank you very much. We are a happy party. We understand the arts of governance. I want to inform you, key personalities. Everyone here is very important, but we must acknowledge that the chief host of this event is the minority leader of Senate, Chief Philip Aduda. The chairman of occasion is the former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and governor of Kaduna State, former His Excellency Architect Namadi Sambo, Grand Commander of the Order of Niger. The father of the day is former governor of Jigawa State and former minister, His Excellency Sule Lamido, one of the standing founding fathers of our great party. The mother of the day is the national woman leader of our great party, Professor Stella Efa Atu. We have the father of the day, as a representative, is not Sule Lamido, is the royal father, Lamido of Adamawa. He's ably represented by Alhaji Abdul Kader Aminu, who is the Walin Adamawa. That is the correction. And we have special guest of honor, His Excellency Senator Jim Wobodo. Please, I want you to relax and enjoy this very historic occasion. Take the learnings from it and move ahead. Please, you're welcome once more.
Your Excellencies, Royal Highnesses, distinguished senators of the Federal Republic, honorable members, House of Representatives, our leaders, national and otherwise, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now with profound honor and pleasure that I have the singular task of bringing to stage the chairman of the organizing committee of this occasion. The chairman is none other but my leader, my former governor, a man of great path, former minister of the Federal Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me as I make welcome to join us on stage His Excellency Mr. Boni Haruna, the chairman of this event. Chairman of the organizing committee.
My friend, make you look your part. See better where they come.
Let's usher him with this. PDP! No, the sound is not enough. PDP! Power! Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the presidential candidate of our party and former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, DCON, our national chairman, ably represented by the deputy national chairman, the chairman of this occasion, our own former Vice President Namadi Sambo, the chairman of Board of Trustees, the special guests of honor, our governors, serving and former, our ministers, our senators, our House of Representatives, our members of the National Working Committee, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me, on behalf of the organizing committee for this occasion, request all of us to be on our feet for a minute silence in honor of Barrister Abdullahi Nyako, who was a member of this committee and who has been called to glory. Please, in silence, let's be on our feet for a minute silence. May the Lord grant him eternal rest. May the Lord comfort his family, immediate family. May the Lord comfort our leader, former Vice President, and give them the fortitude to bear the loss. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure I welcome you to this peculiar gathering that revolves around our great party, the PDP, and our presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar Waziri Adamawa, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and by the grace of God, the next president of this nation. Excuse me, please. 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 We are in a serious business. Can we be quiet, please?
Please, gentlemen, be quiet. Thank you.
Let me thank the leadership of our great party, the PDP, for accepting the special arrangement made to manage our time and resources in this event. This event is unique because it is two in one. It is also unique because although we have come from different directions, we are heading for one direction. And the common direction is that of the mission of our party, the PDP, to rescue our country, Nigeria, under the leadership of our presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku, through the mandate of the people. I welcome you all to this event of today, which is a presentation of some books that tell the story of the man, his childhood and formative development, his struggles as an orphan who grew up to overcome the challenges of lack and deprivation to become the political colossus that he is today, businessman and a philanthropist. These books tell the story of former Vice President Atiku's vision for national unity, growth, and development. His role in our country's democratic rebirth during the last military regime, his struggles in deepening of our nascent democracy through judicial feats and processes, which have added value to the body of language in jurisprudence and constitutionalism. Above all, in his book on restructuring, he takes us on broad outline why he thinks it is inevitable in order to address the existing contradictions in our political union as a nation. Your Excellencies, permit me to reveal that a former President Atiku is a shy person and is not too eager at telling his own story, particularly when it's necessary. But like Tenyo Achebe said, and I quote, the story of hunting will always favor the hunter until the hunted becomes storyteller. There is no doubt that former Vice President Atiku has been a victim of this weakness of his not wanting to tell his own story for long. The consequence has been that political opponents have cashed on it to spread unfounded rumors and cocktail of lies against his person, and in the process cause monumental misunderstanding his public perception. And I dare say that former Vice President Atiku has been the haunted in Nigerian politics. And I want, as a way of testimony, and it is very important. When I was the governor of Adamawa State for 8 good years, 1999, 2000 to 2007, 2 very damaging rumors were going around that time. One was that I was always sharing money with Vice President Atiku from my security vote. But I want to say, and my younger brother, Governor Fintri, is here, I have never, in my 8 years as a governor, let alone share it with former Vice President. I have never. The second damaging rumor during my time as governor and when he was Vice President was that the American university he established, that it was established or built with Adamawa money. If I can remember, the American University, Yola, started in 2005 or thereabout, the construction. And I remember to have gone to the site and assessed the buildings that were going on, the constructions that were going on that time. And it was the tune of almost 5 billion. Meanwhile, my monthly receipt was within the range of 800, 900 million. So tell me, at what point was I able to gather over almost 5 billion to give Vice President Atiku to build American University of Yola? I left office 15 years ago. These rumor mongers should also be asked now. How has American University been funded since I left office? Since I have not been there now for the past 15 years, how has the university been funded? So these are some of the very damaging rumors, lies that were being paraded around and which had caused and still cause monumental misunderstanding his perception of the perception of personality. Your Excellency, there is no other better time than now for Nigeria to know about. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am not a booker's work. I'm only welcome you in appreciation of your presence here today. You are most welcome. Enjoy as we watch and listen to the word about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency.
Please put your hands once more together for His Excellency, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee, former Governor Boni Haruna. I'd like to invite I'd like to take this very special moment to garnish charity that begins at home by introducing my governor, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdul Qadir Muhammad Kauram Bauchi, and the Chairman the Deputy Chairman of the Presidential Campaign Council of the Northern Territory. Your Excellency, you're welcome. We've earlier introduced Her Excellency, the First Lady. May I request you to kindly welcome the addressed and our most eminent dignitaries keep streaming in the most dignified manner. Please welcome the former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator David Mark. He is also within our midst with a big round of applause from wherever you are seated. Equally present is another former Senate President, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim. Please put your hands together for these gentlemen. May I invite our chief host, a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Philip Aduda, to come and make his presentation. As he walks, you cannot miss the sights, even if you don't hear the sounds of His Excellency Ambassador Bello Damagun, the PDP National Chairman and National Deputy Chairman, who is seated next to the former Vice President, Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo. Most distinguished Senator Philip Aduda, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. The former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our own dear candidate of the PDP for the presidential elections of the 2023 general elections. His running mate, His Excellency Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, our former Vice President, His Excellency Namadi Sambo, the executive governors of our various states, former Senate President, former Speaker, House of Representatives. Let me especially also recognize my own dear mommy and auntie, Her Excellency, the wife of the former Vice President, Abubakar. Let me recognize all of you who have come from far and near, our party leaders. Let me welcome all of you to this wonderful occasion. As the chief host, mine is to welcome you all and to wish you well. But because we have two programs, one is for book launch of a dynamic man who has made history and has created history, and who, by the grace of God Almighty, will be our president, by the grace of God, come February 2023. Let me also mention here that the second program running today is the inauguration of the campaign council. Let me ask all of us as the minority leader that we must put all our hands on deck and ensure victory for our party. We must call all together as one indivisible people to ensure victory for the PDP. All over the nation, the primaries are over, and it is time to roll our sleeves and work to ensure victory. Because there is no alternative, and I repeat, there is no alternative to victory. Victory is sweet, and we must ensure victory. So for everybody, the party, we must all come together as one people to work for the victory of not only His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, but for ourselves. Because without victory, we will be nowhere, and we must rescue Nigeria, whether we like it or not, from the grip and the hands of the APC. So I implore all of us to come together, all our friends and brothers who are not happy with certain things that is going on. We must come together. There's no alternative to this by the grace of God. Let us come together and ensure victory. With these very few remarks, I welcome you all to the Federal Capital Territory. May God grant us all our heart desires and meet us at the point of our need. May God Almighty take us back to our various destinations very well as we celebrate this iconic citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Philip Tanimo Aduda, JP, MFR. Thank you indeed, the chief host of this event. Now invite the man who is going to come bring the remarks of the chairman of the occasion to please.
Ambassador Halima Sulaiman uwana ina wanga sabonki ne ya zagaya ko ina Atiku zabun mu ne ni share kukan mu ne.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Philip Aduda. Please put your hands together once more for Senator Philip Aduda. May I, at this point, respectfully invite the chairman of this very auspicious, very important occasion, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic, His Excellency Architect Muhammad Namadisambo, GCON. We need another bigger round of applause. Thank you. Daram dam dam. You're welcome, Your Excellency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Wazirin Adamawa, and our incoming President, inshallah. I'd like to specially recognize your beautiful wives, Haja Titi Abubakar and Haja Rukaya Abubakar. Your Excellency, my brother, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, the Governor of Delta State, and our Vice President, inshallah. His Excellency, Senator Iyochia Ayu, our great national chairman, ably represented here by Ambassador Bello, the Vice Chairman North. His Excellency, Senator Adolphus Guabara, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, the PDP. My brother, Your Excellency, Right Honorable Aminu Tam Matawallen Sokoto, the seat of the Caliphate, and Governor of Sokoto State, Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum. Former Senate Presidents, Your Excellencies, our serving and former governors here present, members of the National Assembly our royal father and father of the day, Royal Highness Barkinto Aliyu Mustafa Delamido of Adamawa. The mother of the day, Professor Stella Efon, National Woman Leader, PDP. The book's presenters, Professor Maxwell Girado-San, His Excellency, former Governor of the organizing committee and all other members of the committee, our great women and youth, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Today is a great day, and all thanks belongs to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the Alameen, who has graciously granted us this day to witness this very important event of presenting the books Atiku Abubakar and the inauguration of the presidential campaign for the People's Democratic Party that will inshallah lead Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to the presidential villa, inshallah. There are 3 books presented today. The story of Atiku Abubakar, the landmark constitutional laws cases in Nigeria, and restructuring as a pathway to unity and development. My duty today is not to present any paper or speak. I'm chairing the occasion and ensuring that it is properly conducted. But I'm not oblivious of this singular opportunity to take last paragraph, one of the books, and it says, the Waziri of Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar, is no doubt the most adequately prepared presidential candidate who understands various challenges and has the capacity to address them. You can't read this book without appreciating him as a political driver who not only has the experience to drive the car, but also knows the road on how to rescue Nigeria. It is very important that at this stage, that from today, the campaign commences for that journey. It is really important that we all put our hands on deck, cooperate fully with each other, and ensure victory at the end of the day. Let us now relax and listen carefully to the book reviewer, presenters, unveilers, and launchers. Thank you, and God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Power to the people, PDP. My fellow Nigerians, let's give our vote to Atiku Okowa for President 2023. Karigo, Atiku Okowa, Karigo.
Thank you very much, Chairman of Occasion, for declaring this very event open. This is a book launch, don't forget, and for want of time, we have been directed to hasten with the agenda. We are supposed to take musical interlude, but for now, we'll take spoken word by Miriam. It's the presentation that we'll watch now, and after that, we'll take musical interlude. While they're getting ready, please, want to specially recognize again, wife of our 23, Her Excellency Haji Atiku Abubakar, and Hajia Rukayatu Atiku Abubakar, both of them here. Our president incoming is a good husband, a good father. As an attestation. Please, presentation, please. Please, let's watch the screen. Thank you very much.
All right, while the presentation is getting ready to come up, let me honor the gracious presence of His Excellency, the former governor of Osun State, Prince Olagusoye Onyilola. Sir, we honor you. Let me also graciously honor the presence of Mr. Kenneth Amasuagbon, the rice man at Edo State. Let me equally honor the gracious presence of our mother, Iom Josephine Aneni. Ma, we welcome you. General Kenneth Minima, retired, former Chief of Army Staff. General Mustafa Oloyibeta, the ADC to the former President Yaradua. We honor and welcome you.
Also recognizing the entrance of the chairman of the Board of Trustees, His Excellency Senator Adolphus Wabara. I would like to request that we dim the lights for the documentary begin. May the technical crew, please. We're ready, we're good to go with the documentary, so let's hit the screen. While that is I'd like to recognize my colleague who will be also part of the Compare Bouquet, a broadcast journalist and anchor of Kakaki program on AIT. Adaura, are you here? Adaura Onyecheme, she will be co-emceeing with us. And for the record, she's also the... Okay, we're good to go. Dim the lights.
The king was once a peasant, a humble son to parents and humble men. A firm hand on the plow, shepherds of rolling herds. This story did not begin in the wealthiest of homes. Or strange building with gold and silver spoons into streets, God into privilege. In this story, the king was once a peasant, a humble son to parents of humble men. A firm hand on the fowl, shepherds of rolling herds fetching feed for the famished of the flock. There was no power in his homestead, but everyone agreed. His heart shone with the radiance of 1,000 fireflies, regardless of how dark the night. These were different times, grassroots times. Kojoli was the place he first learned to dream, under the soft glow of crackling firewood flame, to ask, what miracle can these proper hands grow, and to pray the prayer of a seed in dirt. From dirt is a fertile ground for germination of being. This cannot see the same landscapes with all their glorious gardens, with the names of his fathers it seemed like the future would be full of doors no son of ever would be able to honor. But destiny is a devil, chasing and chasing until it caught him in Jada. God bless Kauai, who had learned to believe, even in those grassroots times raised by doubt. He would register the little dreamer in school and did not scorn his baby steps as if to say, yes, even baby Roko was once a tender sibling, learning to survive the rain of seasons. So dream, let the stars guide you. Oil and shelter, tempest and tide, eating data like lamps, some of them were hard to swallow, but he tasted them, thirsty for triumph, to keep watering the spirit where losses come and fortune and deserts.
We're currently live from Abuja, where the presidential candidate for the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, is launching 3 books to that present his leadership style and contribution to a democratic and constitutional growth in Nigeria. Currently on your screens is a short documentary about the humble beginnings of Atiku Abubakar and his life story growing up, his travails and experiences before coming to this moment. As you see, Atiku the man. So we will continue to hear from Abuja.
That was remarkable. Her name is Miriam Hassan Boka from Borno State. And her state
See
name is
the
Alhan
insult
Islam.
too.
She said, for her, eating failure like yams. And I'll say eating failure like yams, when you eat too much starch, you have kwashiorkor. So we are tired of eating starch, and a bond of hope has risen in the person of His Excellency, of course, Atiku Abubakar. Please, a round of applause for him. A round of applause. Now, what is music without dance, they say? So our next performance will be by a group called Afri Theater. Are you ready? Good. And they will be also doing a dance on unity. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we need 3. 3.
Yeah, Peter, we need one more microphone. Microphone, one more.
Nàìjíríà lárugẹ, ó wà ní là ń gbé lárugẹ, ó wà ní là ń gbé lárugẹ, ó wà ní là ń gbé lárugẹ. Ẹ bá wa gbé Nàìjíríà lárugẹ, ó wà ní là ń gbé. Ẹ wá bá wa gbé Nàìjíríà lárugẹ, ó wà ní là ń gbé lárugẹ. Hausa kwenu, Yoruba kwenu, Igbo kwenu, Nigeria kwenu. Mate!
Put your hands together for this wonderful treat of a combination of Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo, and Swange, if you are from Benue State. I'm sure wherever they are now, I'm reliably told they are watching this program and having a cup of tea or lunch together. His Excellency, the chairman of the party, and his Benue compatriot, the governor, somewhere having lunch and watching this program together. Especially the Swange part, which they share common heritage and a commonality of ethnicity in that respect. I'd like to invite my colleague to introduce the next event, and we keep steam rolling.
Thank you very much, sir. Again, thank you, the cultural troupe, for that passage of entertainment. The cultural dance equally speaks to the unification of this country, of the various and the diverse tribes and cultures that represent Nigeria. And that also speaks to the name of our presidential candidate, the unifier. Please put your hands together for that. Thank you indeed. At this point, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring the remarks of the father of the day. The father of the day, His Royal Highness, the Lamido of Adamawa, Dr. Muhammadu Barkindo Aliu Mustafa Lamido Fambina, the premier ruler of Adamawa State. All right, I beg your pardon. I've been asked just before that, Your Royal Highness, I beg your pardon. I have been asked to invite His Excellency again, apologies for the conflicting information and instructions. We will take the dance drama. If those that are presenting the dance drama are ready, would like to now take the dance drama. And while they get ready to come, I'd like to honor the gracious presence of Pastor Umo Eno, our gubernatorial candidate for Akwa Ibom, together with his deputy, and of course, Senator Chris Ekpeyo. All of you, I honor your gracious presence. Alaji Aliu Ismaila Numan, Tarakim Bata, we honor your gracious presence also. I welcome you. Now, while the drama people are still getting ready, I will also take this time to honor the gracious presence of my governor, the executive governor of Adamawa State, the man we call the fresh air governor, the ATM governor, the projects master, His Excellency the Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, the governor of the next president of the Federal Republic. Your Excellency, welcome.
Also recognizing Professor Biora Okonko, the chairman of United Nigeria Airlines, together with His Excellency, a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ambassador Bagudu Hirse. I saw him seated somewhere together with Chief Raymond, High Chief in that regard, Alego Dopesi. Please hold on the documentary. The cultural troupe is to perform. In the next 30 seconds, if you are not on stage, I will rule that the documentary commences. Well, as you can see, these are the ominous signs of the moment. Hunger, bad economy, ASU strike, unemployment, bad roads, inflation, and the list goes on and on. It is the sad story of a present-day Nigeria, and it only exists in the realm and the minds and thoughts and actions of the misgovernance that we all see. That is the hallmark of the APC. And that is why we are good to go. On our marks, set.
My eye, APC, water run away, my aye, aye.
When I remember poverty, water run away me eye. Water run away me eye. When I remember corruption, water run away me ayo. Water run away me. Water run away. When I remember ASU strike, water run away me ayo. When I remember insecurity, water run away me ayo.
When I remember kidnapping, water run away me ayo.
Water run away me When I remember unemployment, water run away me ayo.
When I remember bad roads, water run away me eye.
When I remember
inflation, water on our way, me ayo.
When I remember insecurity, water run away my eyes. When I remember insecurity, water run away my eyes.
Every time. Look at my farmland. I can't go to farm anymore for the fear of being kidnapped. I built my first house as a proud, but because of the current inflation, I had to sell it off to pay my debt. I have no farm produce. I have nothing to feed my family with. School fees pulling me on the left. House rent pulling me on the right. Leaders of tomorrow, they say, when we are not even sure of today. Michael, Uchenna, Ali, even Nek have all gone overseas seeking for a better future. The last time I called, she was speaking big English. I have tried to get a job. With these certificates, I spent years and years to acquire. But where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? Is this the future? Is this the future we hope to see? I don't think so. I have to end this. I have to end this. Let me end it.
Please don't do this. Once there is life, there is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Atiku is coming and is bringing light to us. My brother, please don't do this. Please don't do this. Calm down, my brother. He is coming. He's bringing light. He's coming to rescue Nigeria. Yes, my brother. I'm very sure, my brother. Please don't kill yourself. Please.
I need a driver. I need a very, very good driver. I am desperate for a good driver. Are you not seeing how things are going? Are you not tired? Can you be a driver?
We'll keep looking. Madam, I hear say you the fine driver. I sabi this boy, yo. He tell me say he sabi drive. But the thing be say, he even tell me say he get driver's license. But the thing be say he never drive before. But he promise me say if you give him this job, he go dey drive you well. Now young boy, young fine boy.
Madam, no worry. I dey here now. You the fine driver. Madam, I get fine handsome driver. The driver don't drive for 4 good years. Madam, 4 years. Madam, if you still want me, you still get more experience. If you dey learn with your car, madam.
Wait. Just wait. Wait first. Wait. Madam, see, don't mind these yeye people. They like to they put their mouth to waiting no consign them. Me, I get driver for you. And this driver he get good 15 years experience. 15? Yes, madam, I tell you. You see, you go just sit down, relax your back, and you go they drive you through the go. You see, all this water on the road. If we maneuver him, come hear something, madam. You don't drive truck before. You don't even drive caterpillar. The best thing be say you can't get good ogbonge experience.
My people, this
This matter dey everywhere now. As we don't hear about all these drivers, be say, which one we go carry our kaya? We go carry our wahala, carry follow.
Yes, madam. Lena. No, na fine boy. He know the chop for road. If this my driver drive you, I go dey road.
You know he doesn't.
He know the chop for road.
Make hunger kill me.
Wait.
4 years.
Madam, he get 4 years, oh, and the man fine where? The man tall, sef.
Fine, you want your...
Madam, now 4 years, oh. 4 years now, still experience now.
Okay. Another learner. Use me to learn again. No. As for me, I go choose the one we get 50 years experience. All this one, are you not tired? Are you not tired? My friend, if it's you, who will you follow?
My dear, if I be you, this your car. You know if it give driver, we no get better experience. Now this same car, you dey use enter road. Where insecurity dey. Now this same precious car, you dey carry go market, go buy food for your family members. So my advice for you be say, make you pick the driver wey get ogbonge experience, wey get 15 years experience. How you take see am?
Me, I go follow who no road. As for you, who una go follow?
We go follow who no road.
This sickness. Every time, sickness. I'm tired.
I don't feeling fine.
I'm not feeling fine. Are you not seeing it?
And when I can't see you. Your body hot too.
It's hot. Why won't it be hot?
Is that the body's doing?
That's how it's doing me.
Have you tried all these small petty pharmacy?
What have I not taken? What have they not given me? I'm tired.
There's one hospital at the junction.
You know somebody there?
They said they are doing very, very well. Let's go and try that place. So.
Help me. Let's go.
Your body's hot too. Sorry.
Good day, ma.
You're welcome. How may we help you?
This is my brother.
Hello, brother. Hello, sister.
Madam.
Yes.
There is nothing I've not taken for this, my illness.
Oh, sorry, ma.
Is it agbo? Is it injection? What if Babi's penalty Lord throwing now?
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, ma.
He said there is something you can give me. What is
ma.
it?
Ma, you are in the right hospital. As it is, we have a very young doctor. He's new on the job, though, with very little experience, but he can consult with you.
Is that all?
We also have a very experienced doctor. He's old and matured, and he's able to touch you, the hand of God. You will be healed. So, ma, you should go with the mature doctor. Yes, ma.
I will go with that one. Okay. That last one.
All right. And to you, my fellow Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is sick.
Thank you very much. If we have all day, we would like to watch you. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for them. Thank you. We are going fast on the program, moving forward. But I have a little announcement. The candidates will not go home after the book launch, because immediately after the unveiling of the book launch, the inauguration of the PCC will start with the same audience. Thank you very much. We recognize the wife of our incoming Vice President, Her Excellency Edith Okowa. We also have in our midst Ambassador Dr. Martin Uhiomubo, his former UN Undersecretary and former Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, here in support. Adora, please come and take.
Before then, those of us here, they should clear. Everybody on
this side. Please let everyone here clear down so that the audience will see the screen. Adora,
come over.
Thank you so much. All right, we want to do a few recognition. Very quickly, please, because we are very much out of time. Major General Yakubu Usman, retired member, Presidential Campaign Council, is here. We'd like to welcome you. And Ambassador Pebe Emmanuel, National Coordinator, PDP Global Ambassadors. Having said that, we will be taking the documentary, and this documentary is on the life and times of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Waziri of Adamawa. Please, let's watch. Thank you.
My friend, make you look your back, look your front, make you see better. Where they come, Nigeria na correct place. When it correct president, Atiku Abubakar is our man. Nigeria na who you go vote for. Atiku, our correct president. Atiku, PDP, Atiku letio, Atiku for president. Atiku the unifier, one nation, one Nigeria. Atiku Abubakar, Atiku
Everyone standing here, come down, please. You're blocking the screen for the audience. Everyone standing here, come down.
One nation, one Nigeria. Atiku letio, Atiku for president. Atiku the unifier. One nation, one Nigeria.
Me dey go, Atiku carry me dey go the promised land. Carry me dey go, Atiku carry me dey go the promised land. Carry me dey go, Atiku carry me dey go the promised land. Carry me dey go, Atiku carry me dey go the promised land. Saraki Atiku. We go make us the jolly. That person don't show. We go make us the happy. In time like this, Atiku 9 we need. Make we test and see. Make our life get sweet.
Thank you.
Make we just rejoice.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, at this point, let me bring to stage the special guest of honor, His Excellency Senator Jim Nwobodo, as he brings his remarks. Please put your hands together for His Excellency Senator Jim Nwobodo. As he comes, I'd like to honor Lieutenant Colonel A.A. Kefas, retired, the gubernatorial candidate of our great party in Taraba State. I'd like to also honor the gracious presence of the former governor of Benue, Senator Gabriel Suswan, who is here. High Chief, our leader, High Chief Raymond Dokwesi, is also here. Of course, okay, I've done this earlier. I've done this.
Your Excellencies, in particular, our incoming President, Atiku Abubakar, his Vice, Ifeanyi Okowa, the former Vice President, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, governors, let me stop here, ladies and gentlemen. cannot believe what I'm saying tonight or this morning. This is a huge assemblage of Nigerians, which means that on the day of election, there will be a mammoth crowd waiting for Atiku. I was supposed to be the special guest of honor. There are many special guests of honor. But we went to Chida and we are told that the event is no longer in Chida but at the National Conference Center. And you can imagine Dino Melaye holding the microphone for me. It's interesting. This is a very important event. The two important things are the man that looks after Atiku's health is from my state. The man that cooks his food is from my state. Which means that this is a true Nigerian. And if we vote him, we're not making a mistake. He was there yesterday at Enugu, and he spoke glowingly about Enugu State and in the whole of Southeast. And he did say, he didn't end up, he said he has 3 boys from Southeast. Which means that he's a true Nigerian. We are looking for a true Nigerian president. We are looking for a true Nigerian president who will unite us. And I believe that he alone can do that. He alone, with his vice. His vice president is Atiku Okowa. My name is Atiku Nwobodo. I don't know what else you are looking for. He's a part of us. And I believe that with Atiku, we will have a united Nigerian. And Nigeria will be united, and you will go where you like. He talked about security. He is in fact the only leader who has taken his pen and wrote about Nigeria unity. He wrote about restructuring. Not many people like to talk about restructuring. They say it with one part of the mouth and withdraw it from the other part. But Atiku took his pen and wrote about restructuring. And if somebody is writing about restructuring, he really wants to be a Nigerian. I, as a rule, don't like to criticize or talk nonsense about the other party. But I think that Nigeria will be better off if we have Atiku as our president. And security is number one. In my state, on Mondays, I can't go to work. I have an order to sit at home by young boys who are asked to sit at home. And if you don't sit at home, they kill you. And I value life. Life matters to me. I thank God because He created us equal, and God has given us right to live. I don't like shedding of blood. And the only way we can get united Nigeria is by living in peace. I hope that from now on, with Atiku era, we will have peace in Nigeria. So go on. This is your time. But remember, as you leave, you hand over the battle to Southeast. I need that undertaken by you. You hand over the to Southeast. So I think that this has been a wonderful day. I went to Shida, and I was told that the venue has been shifted. And I started looking for Dino Melaye. I caught him, and he told me that the place to come is here. And I came here. I came rather late. Please forgive me. I didn't make a mistake. I came at the right time, but I was misguided. But I'm here, and I believe that today's event will bring a united country called Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Senator Jim Nwobodo, thank you so very much indeed. The words of our elders are words of wisdom. We'd like to bring the next item very quickly. I'm told it's just 2 minutes, and then we will invite the book reviewer. All right, that's it.
Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. The next item on the agenda is a spoken word titled Another Story by my lovely sister, Lovett Liberty. Can we please jam our hands together for her to encourage her, please? Thank you. Lovett, quickly, let's be swift about it. We have just 2 minutes.
We did not die. In another story, our country was dropped dead gorgeous, but she did not take our breath away. In another story, the right to life was not a myth. So the SARS officer did not scream, "I go waste your life here and nobody go talk to him." And his guns did not grow hands, did not pick up shovels, did not dig holes in your brother's chest 6 feet deep enough to bury bullets in. In another story, your brother came back home. Even with his dreadlocks and laptop bag, he came back whole, and your mother's soul did not have to leave her sick body because the whole country had the blackout right in the middle of our surgery. In another story, the money for social amenities knew how to use Google Maps, so the money did not have to miss road. In another story, the youth refused to take up guns, to steal ballot boxes for the same ones who took food away from their mouth. In another story, the right to life was not a myth. In another story, the voters did not take side with corrupt politicians because they were of the same tribe and the same religion. In another story, we shook loose the grip of the Stockholm Syndrome, and every time we untie our tongue, a couple of questions fall out. When will we have a better Nigeria? In another story, we vote with conviction, leaders competent with the vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now with profound honor that I would like to bring the book reviewer for the 4 books that we are presenting today. Professor Maxwell Gidado, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the Damasanin Ganye, was former Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Adamawa State. He became Dean Faculty of Law, Nasarawa State University, Kefi. He was former Acting Vice Chancellor of the same university, Nasarawa State University, Kefi, former Senior Special Assistant on Legal and Constitutional Matters to His Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and the former Vice President of the Federal Republic, Atiku Abubakar. He is author of 6 books and over 100 articles in reputable national and international journals, one of which is to be presented here today to the public. Currently, the Learned Silk is the Chief of Staff to His Excellency, the Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. And recently, he's been honored with the National Honors Award nominee for the 2022 as the Officer of the Order of the Niger. It is now with profound honor and pleasure that I welcome the book reviewer for today's book presentation, Professor Maxwell M. Gidado, S.A.N.
And for the avoidance of doubt, Professor Maxwell Gidado is actually doing the presentation of the book. The review will be done, I want to believe, in the course of the rundown of this program. Professor Maxwell Gidado, SAN.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, the PDP presidential flag bearer and candidate in our coming 2023 general elections, and by special grace of God, our incoming president 2023. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, GCON, and his beloved wives. His Excellency, the vice presidential candidate of the flag bearer, the chairman of this occasion, the special guest of honor, the father and the mother of the day, our chairman of this all-important occasion, His Excellency, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Mohammed Namadi Sambo. Let me end the protocols by just acknowledging Your Excellencies, other Excellencies, Your Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My task is to give a review of the 4 books, actually, that are going to be presented to the public today, all written in honor of the man whose time has come, the man for whom we're all gathered here today, namely His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, MSc, GCON. The books are as follows, and it is in this format, or in this very sequence, that the review will be done. First will be the book titled Atiku, the story of Atiku Abubakar, by none other than our late colleague and member of the Atiku political family, the late Dr. Adinoye Ojo Onukaba of blessed memory. The second book is titled The Landmark Constitutional Law Cases in Nigeria, 2004 to 2007, the Atiku Abubakar Cases, written by yours truly with Chudi N. Ojuku, LLM. The third is a compendium of the thoughts and the writings of Atiku Abubakar himself, titled Restructuring as a Pathway to Unity and Development, titled also, or in short, the Atiku Abubakar Files. Without much ado, I will take the books one after the other in seriatim, as I've mentioned. Beginning with the story of Atiku Abubakar. This book is a compendium or a collection of about 3 parts of 22 chapters with an epilogue, references, and indexes, all housed in 338 pages. Part 1 of the book talks about his early life. He was born in very humble circumstances and determined from a young age to take his destiny in his hands. That adversity has taught Atiku to be kind, caring, and compassionate. The loneliness of childhood made him a lover of people and of a large family. The tragedy of being orphaned at an early age instilled in him the virtues of hard work and independence and abiding faith in God. His 20 years career in the customs exposed him to the larger and more complex world outside the one he knew in southern Adamawa. And the politics taught him focus, determination, and the ability to understand, predict, and manage people. He had come at a time when momentous changes were sweeping through the world around him. Young Atiku was quiet, sensitive, a young boy at that time, and assisted his father on the farm and with livestock. Second part of the book gives a glance at way back in his 20 years career in customs, where he joined the service as a cadet assistant, preventive superintendent, and rose to the rank of deputy director before his retirement from the Federal Civil Service of Nigeria, with effect from 30th April 1989. While in the customs, he attended leadership and management courses in Finland, USA, and Egypt. In part 3, attempts to x-ray his political journey after his retirement from the civil service is captured here. And chapters like the People's Front of Nigeria, Social Democratic Party, the quest to be a governor, a candidate for the presidency, the Abacha Times takes his turn, the Phantom Coup, exile, because he was on exile, is all contained in the book. A fresh start are all contained in this book from pages 164 to 276. Upon retirement, Atiku went into private business. He soon launched an active political career and was elected as governor of Adamawa State and later vice president of Nigeria in 1999. He was an elected member of the National Constituent Assembly before then, 1994 to 1995. He is a founding member of the governing People's Democratic Party, and before that, a founding member of the People's Front and Social Democratic Party. As vice president, Atiku was one of the National Economic Council and the National Council on Privatization, and many other presidential committees, including the task that admirably organized Nigeria's hosting of the 2004 Commonwealth Summit. Atiku is also widely recognized as the committed Democrat and a courageous fighter against executive impunity and the militarization of national politics. I would skip this very part and go to the next, which also talks about Atiku's life as a politician and as a public office holder, as well as some of the experiences he garnered. Atiku Abubakar is also a veritable phoenix of our democratic future. For out of the ashes of despair, brutality, cynicism, and strife of yesteryears has emerged his pillar of freedom, democracy, justice, and hope. The greatness of birth is not in being blue-blooded, but it is being able to survive despite all odds. Success is not judged only by what has been achieved, but also by the obstacles surmounted to achieve it. That is Atiku Abubakar in true perspective. He's a fellow of the St. Anthony's College, Oxford University, and in General School of Diplomacy and International Relations, Switzerland. He also holds honorary doctorate degrees from several Nigerian universities. Among them are Ahmadu Bello University, University of Maiduguri, Modibo Adama University, University of Calabar, etc. He was also bestowed with Nigeria's second highest national honor, the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. He was also the highest for Global Citizen Award by the National Peace Corps Association of the United States of America. Atiku holds the several traditional titles, one of which is the Waziri of Adamawa, as well as the Zege Mule Utif, Zanna Zaltoma of Borno, Zanna Kwashishima of Yobe, Shetima of Biu, Moyobero of Lagos, Onyeoha Ndibo of Iboland, etc. In conclusion on this very chapter of the book, I wish to state that Atiku is a politician, a businessman, and a philanthropist. He is also committed to the development of Nigerians of all ages, and he has been consistently advocating for true federalism, passion for the growth, stability, and unity of this country. He is also always committed to promoting ideologies relevant to national integration, quality education, and economic development. Finally, on the book, Atiku, the story of Atiku, I would end this review as follows. This book is a must-read for everyone here who is desirous of living and realizing the Nigerian dream as exemplified by the life and times of Atiku Abubakar, the unifier. I go on to the next book. This next book is the one that is titled Landmark Constitutional Nigeria, 2004-2007, and it is a book that is premised on the infractions which His Excellency found out or discovered while he was vice president, and he challenged them in court and succeeded. They were all 7 in number. In all, this 300-page book has 5 chapters and a very rich bibliography, a litany of statutes, and an appendix, both in the cases and statutes. The book is a product of years of research into the cases of constitutional infractions and breaches against the person and office of the former vice president, which he challenged and won literally in all the Nigerian courts from 2004 to 2007. And I was privileged to be working with him those years and even attending the court cases, hence the need to chronicle them. The decision to publish this book, according to the authors, was that it was in recognition of the contributions of the former vice president to the development of democracy and also the fight to ensure the entrenchment of fundamental human rights of all citizens in the country. Thus, these were the words of the Honorable Justice Nahiru Mustafa, a former Chief Justice of Nigeria, on page 3 of the foreword to the book, which says, and I read, unquote, the landmark judgments contained in the 7 cases in this book at the instance of former Vice President Atiku justify the title of the book as focus and emphasis was spread across the variety thorny issues which cover thought-provoking discourse on constitutional democratic governance in Nigeria. No doubt this book is with the sustenance and growth of democratic governance in the body polity of Nigeria, unquote. Accordingly, I wish to call on all Nigerians, especially those of us present here, to commend this key figure, that is, the personal dramatist in the book, Atiku Abubakar, for his doggedness and astuteness in prosecuting these cases in his quest to defend or stand up for his fundamental human rights when they were infringed upon. The recognition and pride of place being given to him through this book is well deserved, And I'm glad that this recognition is coming from the academia, the bar, and the bench. Now, I'll take up these cases one after the other and give a brief a summary on what are the themes in the cases. The first case is a case that has to do with the power of removing a vice president in office. It is now through the grace of His Excellency, the former vice president, that no president in Nigeria can ever remove his vice president unilaterally. And this is owed to the vice president. It and it further clearly spells out the constitutional provisions of the president and the vice president, and that they can only be removed from office by the National Assembly or by the court. It's a joint ticket. They came together, they will live together. And that applies even if the vice president jumps ship, leaves the party that they came in with, and defects to another party. This is the law as of today. In chapter 3, the case that was handled or that took place at the instance of the former vice president too was the issue of disqualification of candidates for elections. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also cheering news that is through the work or the fight, dogged fight of His Excellency, the former vice president and our incoming president, that today INEC cannot disqualify any candidate in Nigeria. And this is captured in the case of Action Congress versus Action Congress and Atiku Abubakar versus INEC. This was the case where prior to the presidential elections of 2007, when Action Congress presented Atiku Abubakar as its presidential candidate, INEC, in the process of screening candidates for that election, disqualified him. Consequently, Action Congress and Atiku went to court to challenge the powers of INEC to disqualify candidates. The case commenced from the Federal High Court through the Court of Appeal and ended at the Supreme Court, the Apex Court, where it was ruled that INEC had no power and still today has no power to disqualify candidates for an election pursuant to the provisions of the Electoral Act 2008 then and the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then in chapter 4, the case also here was a case involving the executive immunity that the president, the vice president, the governors, and the deputy governors enjoy. It is also a cheering news that through the instrumentality of the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar, in going to court and fighting for the rights of the electorate as well as the elected, today the Court of Conduct Tribunal cannot, during the pendency of immunity of any of these principal officers, attempt to try them. They have no powers because they enjoy their immunity from the day they are sworn in till they serve out their terms. But after serving their terms, they can be subjected for any criminal prosecution. So it was true that here, in his defiance to the institution of proceedings against him, when an action was taken against him and taken before the Court of Conduct Tribunal, the vice president filed an action against the government and questioned the powers of the Court of Conduct Tribunal to try him. The trial court resolved and held that a sitting vice president of Nigeria cannot be tried by the court or tribunal. The appellants, being dissatisfied with the decision of the Federal High Court, appealed to the Court of Appeal, while Atiku Abubakar cross-appealed. The key constitutional questions the Court of Appeal was asked to resolve was whether or not a sitting vice president was bound by the Code of Conduct provisions in the Constitution, regardless of the immunity clause under Section 308 of the same Constitution. Many people have questioned the wisdom of the framers of the Nigerian Constitution, including this immunity clause in the 1999 Constitution. While the opinions are diverse on the appropriateness or otherwise of the clause, it is important not to lose sight of the purpose of the immunity. Because Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution does not provide an absolute immunity from prosecution, but merely a limited one. That is, until such a person leaves office. In delivering its judgment, the court clearly demonstrated that the Constitution remains the supreme law of the land, and all other laws and legal maxims and provisions are subject to it. Accordingly, all persons in Nigeria have the inalienable right to fair hearing. Now, lastly, Chapter 5. In the case in Chapter 5 was also initiated and supported by His Excellency, the former Vice President, in the case of Godi Ikechi versus PDP. And in that case, the court's decision was to emphasize the need for constitutional and due process, that's political parties, to abide by their party constitutions and the 1999 Constitution and not to act arbitrarily. The court forbade the appointment of party members at PDP congresses or conventions through the unconstitutional process of affirmation and selection. The court directed that election must be the only mode of assumption to various offices, and that is what applies till date. In conclusion of the second book, at the end of every meaningful research is the expectation of how the research work will benefit society. Therefore, I hereby read out the takeaways from this book, especially the 7 cases. 1, it is that it stresses the need for adherence to the tenets of constitutionalism and the rule of law in affairs of both government and the governed. 2, the book also encourages anyone who feels his fundamental human rights have been infringed upon to rise and seek redress in the court of law. 3, the judiciary of the 3 arms is a guardian of the Constitution and of democratic process. Okay. 4, also the Nigerian courts of law, being guardians of the Constitution, should always rise to their feet to declare any purported infraction of the Constitution null and void. So in summary, the historic decisions and judgments by both the Courts of Appeal and the Supreme Court, as contained in the book Landmark Constitutional Cases, the Atiku Abubakar cases, have since become locus classicus, that is, of legal standing in the corpus juris of our country. I will take on the last book now, which is the book titled Restructuring as the Pathway to Unity and Development, the Atiku Abubakar. This, as I earlier said, are thoughts and writings of His Excellency throughout his political career, before and after his serving out his term as a former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from 1999 to 2007. This book contains 18 chapters, including introduction and preface, and is bound and contained or covered in 121 pages. The book is a collection of speeches, papers, and addresses delivered, as well as newspaper publications of former Nigeria's Vice President, Atiku Abubakar. The speeches and publications span close to a decade of his thoughts. And of interest to us here is his passion for restructuring. And the very chapter that harps much on the restructuring, when you get a copy of the book, is chapter 12. I will go and read out how he thinks about, what he thinks about restructuring and how he wants to go about it when elected President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2023. First, he said he has observed that a smaller linear federal government with reduced responsibilities is better than this very one that is skewed in favor of the federal government. This means devolution of powers and resources to states and local governments. State and local governments should control education, health, agriculture, roads, and other infrastructure. This aspect is treated under Chapter 12 of the book. Secondly, autonomy for the component states and localities to determine their development priorities. Structure, for instance, he said there's no reason for a governor of Akwa Ibom State to earn the same salary as the governor of Benue State or Adamawa State, or for a teacher in Olu to earn the same salary as the one in Abuja or Port Harcourt. The cost of, because his reason is that the cost of living and revenue generating capacities vary widely according to the country. Of interest too is his thought about the fact that enhanced diversified economic activities and productivity in order to enlarge our tax base is a must-do in Nigeria. And furthermore, His Excellency also believes that there should be an end to the indigene-settler dichotomy. A modern united Nigeria society can only be built on the basis of common citizenship for all based on residency in a state or locality, rather than the local government or ethnic group one is born into. Nigerians should be free to live, study, and work anywhere in the country, as long as they are law-abiding. I'll just wind up now, 2 minutes. So long as they are law-abiding, we cannot claim to be promoting national unity while also promoting policies that tend to continue to divide us. Hence, he's been given the name unifier. Sixth, His Excellency also believes in the state police. He said state police should augment the federal police for the states that so desire. This will help in improving security, including fighting terrorism. Posting a police officer from Jada or Ganye to Eket may help promote culture, sharing, and integration, but it does little to prevent or fight crime. Crime is better fought by those who know the terrain and speak the local language. Nigeria is not working as well as it should, and part of the reason is the way we have structured our country and governance, especially since the late 1960s. The federal government is too big and too powerful, lucrative to the federating states. That situation needs to change, and calling for that change is patriotic, said His Excellency. And finally, I would, in conclusion, state that these whole 3 books, which I have adumbrated here, are very germane, and they are the thoughts of the author, particularly of this last one, the third one, which are his own writings and his own vision for the country. The other 2 showcase who His Excellency truly is through the dogged fight of cases he did, as well as his historical account from the birth to the present date. So, having studied or gone through these books, I'm fully persuaded that it represents a sound demonstration of high standard of research. Accordingly, I have no hesitation in recommending these books to all involved and interested in the art of governance or leadership: political scientists, sociologists, academics, students, journalists, lawyers, and indeed to the general public. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you. Please put your hands one more time for Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chief Maxwell Gidado. And Chief Maxwell Gidado was a former Chief of Staff to His Excellency Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, in a role that I was privileged to serve under His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdul Qadir Mohammed. I would like to, at this point, ask that the documentary be ready. We will take the documentary because it is important. It is a capsule that will give you an insight into the man of the moment, the president in waiting, and inshallah, the standard bearer of the PDP, Wazirin Adamawa, Atiku Abubakar. When and if the gentlemen on the switch are ready to play the documentary, we should please dim the lights. I will insist that those of us who are masters of ceremony will remain on these days. Every other person should please exit the days because the screen behind you is not legible, it's not seen by our dignitaries seated from, all the sides of the congregation. May I take this moment as we await the documentary to introduce His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, Chief Darius Ishaku. You're welcome. And together with Engineer Haruna Manu, the Deputy Governor of Taraba State. Of course, earlier on, we did introduce His Excellency, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Gali Umar Naaba, back to base and back to where he belongs, together with Alhaji Ibrahim Shekaro, the Executive Governor, former of Kano State. Let's start the documentary.
This is our country, our beloved country. Rich, cozy, and full of endowments.
It is on my paper, it is not just manager.
The people are diverse and Alhaji Umar Musaya. What failed? Our resolve, our hope, our ambition, our strength, or our efforts. What kept the sun from shining on Nigeria? You, me, them. Are we equally or partially responsible for our failures? How do we rise from the billows of poverty, hunger, and despair? Have we lost confidence? Have we fallen never to rise again? Are we bruised and lashed beyond restoration? Do you believe? I see it. I behold it. I believe it. I sight it. Atiku Abubakar is the glue that will bind our despair and heal our nation. Atiku will unify, amplify, restore, and flood our nation with growth and joy. Atiku, the hope of the poor,
the propeller of our vision into a life of abundance and growth. Take us to the world, Atiku. Bring in our sunshine so the world will know that our days of pain and decay has turned to praise and progress. Atiku is coming. Atiku Okowa, we stand.
Please, a round of applause. I think that is very fair play. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much. Maybe you didn't see the ending of that documentary. It says, Atiku, the hope of the poor. Bring in the sunshine. Atiku is coming. On Atiku Okowa, we stand. Please, a round of applause. That's better. Now it is time for us to get to the matter of the day, one of the most important parts of today, the unveiling of the book. And our chief unveiler is no other person than the distinguished senator, His Excellency Senator Jim Nwobodo, former governor of old Anambra State, which comprised of Anambra and Enugu. Please may we have him on stage and a resounding round of applause for him as he comes forward. Because today we unveil 4 books, and they are very remarkable in our time. And one particularly speaks to restructuring as a pathway to unity and development. A round of applause for him. It's always an honor and a privilege to have him speak the issues and, most importantly, put his statesmanship on today's epoch-making event.
Caught again by Dino Melai. You know what that means? So, I have pleasure, the greatest pleasure,
His Excellency is now coming to do the unveiling.
I have the greatest pleasure in unveiling these books to the glory of Nigeria and unity of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The books are landmark constitutional law cases in Nigeria 2004 to 2007, the Atiku cases, and of course, restructuring as a pathway to unity and development. The other book is summary and a sneak peek into the story of Atiku Abubakar, and the third book, which is the 4th of the books, The Bridge of Hope, the story of Atiku Abubakar. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together, distinguished guests. Let's honor and appreciate that. And now, Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite for his remarks, in just 2 minutes, the father of the day, His Royal Highness, the Lamido of Adamawa Lamido, Dr. Muhammadu Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa, the Premier Ruler, Lamido Fombina, the President, the Patron, Tapita Plaku International, here today ably represented by Alhaji Abdul Qadri Mbamba.
Your Excellency,
the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, your wives, Hajia Titi and the Princess, Rukaiya Atiku Abubakar, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Namadi Sambo, executive governors here present, particularly my home state governor, Right Honorable Ahmad Umar Fintri, Senate presidents, former Senate presidents here, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, order protocol duly respectfully observed. I'm here standing in for His Royal Highness, the Lamido of Adamawa, Lamido of Fombina, where His Excellency Atiku Abubakar is the Premier, Prime Minister of the Council, and therefore I'm here restricted by the message of His Royal Highness. The message of His Royal Highness, the Lamido of Adamawa, is that Atiku's victory in PDP is victory for Nigerians. Therefore, the Lamido of Adamawa graciously, humbly presented the very articulated Atiku Abubakar to Nigerians for your own savior, because Nigeria needs to be rescued today. We all know what we have been faced with, and sometimes people pretend to ignore what is good, but there are times that it is very, very necessary for us to face the reality. And today is Atiku Abubakar's time, and that we have no option in terms of competence, capacity, and above all, compassion. We all said here that Atiku Abubakar touches the lives of Nigerians, including my humble self standing here. Atiku Abubakar have touched my life, and this has happened since the year 2009 when he became vice president. He supported our organization, and today in that organization I can say authoritatively that we are the leading in oil and gas in this country. This Atiku Abubakar did it for us. So I want to conclude by saying that before this time, it is Atiku was the hope for poor, but today's Nigerian context, even the rich, Atiku is your hope. With this, I conclude, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Your Royal Highness, ably represented by Alhaji Abdulkadir Mbamba, the Waling Adamawa. Now, the books have been given to our distinguished excellencies in front. I would like to humbly and honorably beg that we stand, Your Excellencies, with the books and just raise the books for the cameras. The cameras are already.
Atiku carry me, they go the promised land.
Thank you, Your Excellencies. May you please stand.
Carry me, they go. Atiku carry me, they go the promised land. Atiku carry me, they go the promised land.
Saraki Atikuleto. Cameramen, do it fast.
You know me lie, Atikuleto. Rakia made Atikuleto. That person don't show. We go
make sure you catch.
That person don't show.
Honorable Adamu Atiku Abubakar Sardauna Kanye. Senator James Manager is here. We honor you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're about rounding up the book launch. Let's invite the mother of the day, national woman leader of our great party, Professor Stella Efatu, for 2 minutes to address this book launch. Good we message from the mother of the day.
Make you see better where they come. Nigeria na correct place when it correct president. Atiku Abubakar is our man. Nigeria who you go vote for? Atiku, our correct president. Atiku, PDP. Atiku letio. Atiku for president. Atiku the unifier. One nation, one nation.
Our dear presidential candidate, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, GCON, Waziri Adamawa, and our incoming President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His beautiful wife, Her Excellency Hajia Amina Atiku Abubakar, his wife, Her Excellency Hajia Rukaya Atiku Abubakar, our dear Vice Presidential candidate, His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, and his dear wife, Mrs. Edith Okowa, Chairman of the occasion, Chairman of our great party, His Excellency Senator Dr. Iyochi Ayu, and all my colleagues in the National Working Committee, former Senate Presidents here present, former Vice President, His Excellency Architect Namadi Sambo, who incidentally is the chairman of this occasion too, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Senator Adolphus Wabara, and members of the Board of Trustees, Your Excellencies, all our PDP governors here present, members of the National Assembly, our very distinguished PDP women, our very vibrant PDP youths, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We thank God for today, a very significant occasion. Here we are, joining our principal in the presentation of 3 very distinguished books. And the first of these books has to do with his biography. I have not read the books, but I have gone through, though scantily, the little script I found in the program concerning his biography. And what did I get from that? I learned from that little script here in the program that just as the Americans have the American dream, we Nigerians also have the Nigerian dream. Because this is a gentleman that has risen from a very humble background. And here he is today, having gone through various hierarchy in the political terrain, even as vice president of this country, and today the presidential candidate of PDP. So we have learned a lot. So this book teaches a lot of lessons to every Nigerian, to the men, to the women, to the youth, to the adult. We all have lessons to learn from this biography, because we have our own Nigerian dream. I am here today, I will be very brief. I'm standing in as Mother of the Day. On behalf of every mother in Nigeria, I say congratulations, Your Excellency, for this wonderful event. On behalf of all PDP women, sir, I say congratulations a second time to you. And sir, there is something very significant we have not realized today. Today, INEC has lifted the ban for campaigns to start. And what are we seeing? You are starting your campaign with the launch or presentation of 3 books. And what does that tell us? It tells us how serious-minded you are. It tells us how much you love education. So that is the significance of this launch, coming on a significant day that INEC lifted the curtain for campaign. So your message to Nigerians is, you are a very serious person that takes education very seriously. And sir, I believe that by the time you get on board, you are not only going to focus on education, you are going to focus your attention on all aspects of development in Nigeria, and you are going to carry the women along, especially PDP women. Thank you very much, sir. We believe in you. You are going to be there, and we are going to be with you in the mighty name of God. Once again, congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request that everybody that is behind, that has to do with the distribution of the books, to please kindly suspend the distribution for now until we finish the formalities of this occasion. It is important that souvenirs and books and other apparels that you will take home as memorabilia for this occasion are with you, but it is equally important that we keep our eyes on the ball. I'd like to quickly recognize the Deputy Governor of my home state, Bauchi State, Senator Babatela, elders of the PDP. They've been recognized in other states. I will take this opportunity to recognize my own state so that I will go home in peace and in one whole peace. May I recognize Senator Adamu Ibrahim Gumba. May I recognize the Deputy Gubernatorial Candidate, Awal Jatou. May I equally recognize Professor Gambola Raba Abdullahi, Senator Bala Karia, Senator Abdul Ahmed Ningi, the chairman of the PDP in Bauchi State, Hamza Oshe Akuyam. Your Excellency, the President-in-Waiting, Wazir in Adamawa. Your Excellency, the former Vice President, Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambo. Your Excellency, the Deputy Standard Bearer and the Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency Chief Ifeanyi Okoa, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors, may I respect with relish and all the protocol respects to all other dignitaries that are here present, to say that the first stanza of this ceremony is, as far as we are concerned, over. That means the distribution of the books, the review, the speeches, the goodwill messages, and the encomiums and the accolades and the tributes that have been showered on our leader and President-in-Waiting Atiku Abubakar has drawn us to the close of this very important occasion. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome, by way of introduction, Madam Chinwe Norom. She's the National Director of Publicity of the People's Democratic Party, headquarters on your blush in Chinwe, come around. And she's the face, the sight and sound of the PDP. And then Chief Oke, Help me pronounce the second name.
Moaru.
Chivoke Moaru. Onye Igbo Amarama. I would like to state that these two eminently qualified voices will now take over from us and preside over the inauguration of the Presidential Campaign Council. Best of luck, Madam and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Alhaji Ladan Salihu. Thank you all the MCs that handled the book launch and the organizers. Your Excellencies, we have now dovetailed into the Presidential Campaign Council inauguration. We'd like to set little protocol for this. We are still good with the national anthem. We are good with the prayer set. But let's set the protocol for the National Campaign Council. Acting National Chairman, Ambassador Umar Ilia Damagun, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the incoming President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar GCON, and his amiable spouses, Her Excellency Titi Atiku Abubakar and Her Excellency Rukayatu Atiku Abubakar. Former the Senate Minority Leader, sorry. No, we have former Vice President still here seated, former Kaduna State Governor, His Excellency Architect Namadi Sambo GCON, Senate Minority Leader, Senator Philip Aduda, House of Reps, Minority Leader, Right Honorable Ndudi Elumelu, Deputy National Chairman South, Ambassador Taufik Arakwaja, the Acting Chairman of Board of Trustees, Senator Adolphus Nwabara, who is former Senate President, National Secretary Samuel Ayamu, Senator. We have Governor, Chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum, just elected, and also who is Chairman of PDP Governors Forum, Governor of Sokoto State, His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, CFR. We have former Senate Presidents here present, His Excellency Senator Ayim Pius Ayim, Senator Bukola Saraki. We have former governors, we have sitting governors here, governors of Delta, who is the vice presidential candidate of our great party incoming, and his amiable wife, Her Excellency Edith Okowa. The governors of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Amadu Umaru Fintri, Governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Duo Ederi, Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Abubakar Mohammed, Governor of Taraba, Architect Daros Isiako, Senator David Mark, you're here as our former Senate President. Welcome to the inauguration, sir. Former governors, former national chairmen, former secretaries, immediate past Chairman of Board of Trustees, Senator Wali Jibril CON, other NEC and Board of Trustee members, other party stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the inauguration of the Presidential Council. I'll call out the leadership of the council as I invite for the opening. As you get ready for the opening, the acting chairman will be coming. The leadership of the council is His Excellency Udom Emmanuel, who will be chairman of the council. Engineer Sheyi Makinde, Vice Chairman South. His Excellency Senator Bala Abdul Kadri, Vice Chairman North. The National Chairman, Presidential Candidate, Vice Presidential Candidate, former Vice President and Acting BOT. A membership of the committee is His Excellency Right Honorable Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Director General. Senator Leah Limoke, DDG Operations. Professor Adewale Oladipo, DDG Administration. High Chief Raymond Dokbasi, DDG Technical and Systems, His Excellency Okwesile Zanwodo, DDG Research and Strategy. Let me, at this time, invite for the opening of the inauguration, the Acting National Chairman, Ambassador Umar Ilia Damagu, who will be coming with the National Organizing Secretary to proceed.
Ambassador Halima Sulaiman Uwana Ina.
Your Excellencies, the journey to Aso Rock 2023 has just officially begun. It is my honor and privilege to invite the National Chairman, Acting National Chairman, Ambassador Ilia Damagun, to formally inaugurate the Presidential Campaign Council, the vehicle that will take this party back to victory. Your Excellencies.
Your Excellency, the former Vice President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, our presidential candidate and president come 2023, inshallah. Your Excellency, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, the Governor of Delta State and our Vice Presidential candidate and Vice President from 2023, inshallah. Your Excellencies, our governors of Bauchi, Sokoto, Akwa Ibom, Taraba, Adamawa, and those that I could not actually see. Members of the National Working Committee, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. First, I want to give the excuse of my national chairman, who is unavoidably absent, who is far away in Europe, addressing some health challenges. But all the same, he sent his goodwill message to all of you. As the window of the presidential campaign opens today, one of the major processes to rescue our beloved country, Nigeria, and Nigerians from the hostile, aggressive, and hunger-stricken grip of the APC government, this 28th of January, the rescue mission has begun. This is an enormous task that must be handled with all sense of patriotism to both the party and the entire citizens. The legacies of our party while in government at the center speak volumes. We can no longer stay by the side and not blow our trumpet. With all the undeniable achievement recorded during our reign, the campaign should be based on the achievements so far recorded by our successive governments and the present governors of PDP extraction that have done so well, more than their counterparts of the other party. As we all know, also, the PDP and indeed our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has successfully piloted the affairs of this nation at a particular time. He has been tested. As such, Nigeria has no doubt in his capacity to rescue our dear nation from total collapse.